Western Spring Television, ours it is.
The core mandate of the Ministry of Political Affairs and Intergovernmental Relatives is closely tied to the inclusive nature of governance under the leadership of Governor Ademola Adeleke. 2 years in the saddle, sectoral assessment of the Ministry of Political Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations brings out an unhidden fact that the state government is willing to interface with stakeholders relevant to the progress and development of OSUN State. For the first time in many years, OSUN State has a government determined to run an all-inclusive policy which recognizes the good in everyone, irrespective of differences in politics, religion, class, gender, social and economic interest. What is this report card of this ministry, particularly in building that bridge of understanding among indigents and residents of OSUN State? And how has the ministry's policies and programs got people engaged to key into government's action program of development? As I take you through episode 14 of Living Spring Update for this week, it will be easier to link the peace and tranquility that prevails in the state to the effort of the Ministry of Political Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations to cement diverse interests for the collective good of OSUN State. My name is Tomilola Daniel.
It's not going to be business as usual anymore. One, where the money is going to come from? I told you that I brought on leakages. There are so many money that is going out where it's not supposed to go. I can assure you, we are saving a lot of money, putting it aside. We have a special account for projects, and it's only there. It's only for showing. Project account, we have it there. Our IGR has improved. And then when we say something, we mean it. This is a serious government. It's not a government that you just talk and then they might come to turn here like yeah. But it's somebody can buy if you don't want to go to here. So don't worry. And you're not ever company. God not tell you ye. Egba pay your governor.
The Ministry of Political Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations took off with an understanding that the success of government's political and statutory policies depend on a ministry run with a template of constant connections with the people. This presupposes that government business, particularly as such deal with politics, must be inclusive of all stakeholders, whether they're in government or outside of it. Instructively, the ministry has run its operation by acceding to the grassroots needs, promotion of a vibrant political system that accords priority for constructive opposition and criticisms, and receptive to input from political parties, associations, and groups in the administration of the state. Olu Adejobi is the special advisor to Governor Ademola Adeleke, who oversees the ministry's intergovernmental assignments. Exchanging views with Living Spring Update, Mr. Adejobi said the pivot of the ministry's Build Bridging program is to create an enabling environment for political discourse among the leadership and followership of political parties to ensure a culture of good governance in Osun State. The peaceful coexistence of people in Osun State has assisted in no small measure to drive the Adeleke administration's 5-point agenda. The industrial and infrastructural policies of government have been implemented with positive impacts on the generality of indigents and residents of the state. The Ministry of Political Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations is hopeful that more collaboration between governments, agencies, and public institutions is key to achieving the goals of raising the living standard of the people.
Osun State is deservedly reputed to be the safest and most peaceful state in the Federation. It hasn't always been like that. So a lot of kudos must be given to the work of the governor in identifying areas of potential conflicts very early on, deploying all the necessary strategies, including involving all the relevant stakeholders, the communal leaders, obas, and the security agencies to nip all those potential areas of unrest and conflict in the bud. Of course, where you have a peaceful, convivial environment, that is where the agenda of the government can actually take place in terms of, for example, infrastructural development. That is when contractors can feel comfortable to go and work. That is when artisans can feel safe in carrying out all the projects that the government has earmarked. And that is when business and commerce can actually take place. I will tell you about my remit within my ministry. There are 94 federal ministries domiciled in Osun State. And that, I understand, is almost a record in the country. And again, it is a testament to how comfortable a lot of the federal agencies are in setting up in Osun State. In April of this year, we arranged a collaborative seminar and conference between all the 94 agencies and young people in Osun, from secondary schools to universities, polytechnics, and so on. And it was a well-attended program wherein the young people interfaced directly with a lot of these agencies to find out more about how those agencies operate, what exactly they do, how to go about gaining employment, when to apply, where to apply to. The object, of course, is to try and boost employment possibilities and employment opportunities for our young people in those agencies, either within our state or, in fact, Abuja or elsewhere. At the inception of the government, a number of, and you will see in the appointees that the government has actually made, that a number of active political participants are involved at various levels in the running of the government. Not only that, they are also having meetings constantly with their local electorate in one form or the other, either ward meetings or council or local government meetings. So that interaction is taking place constantly. Not only that, as a ministry, we are also engaged with even the opposition parties, because in a democracy, you want a vibrant opposition. a constructive and vibrant opposition, because that will have the effect of keeping you on your toes. We can never take the electorate for granted. You're there, you're here for 4 years and hopefully 8 years at the will of the electorate. So as a ministry, we recognize that, and we have an engagement with even the opposition parties, finding out what they want, what they need. There may be policies or issues that require their input as stakeholders. That engagement is also going on. As a ministry, again, it's political affairs and intergovernmental relations. So we would be playing a tangential role in the local government election. On a general note, obviously, we have the local body, the electoral body that is tasked with the day-to-day handling of such matters. However, as a ministry, we would be aware of what is going on, and we would be engaging with other stakeholders, including opposition parties, and indeed giving various recommendations to our own candidates. We are hoping, of course, for a clean sweep, and we will be working towards that objective.
Since Governor Ademola Adeleke assumed office on the 28th of November 2022, the political trajectory of OSUN State has taken on the narrative of integration for peace and good governance. Nothing has been spared to attain this. The matured handling of the socio-economic programs of government has been tilted at meeting the needs of the greatest number of the people. The impending local government election is a huge testament of the state government's sincerity to create an enabling environment for all. Dr. Anthony B. Odunlade is the commissioner of the ministry, and his core function is to forge a marriage of mutual benefit between the Adeleke administration and interests outside government. What matters, according to him, is the advancement of OSUN State, the people, and security of lives and property.
This ministry is basically on governance. And what I mean by governance is that political affairs and intergovernmental relations is concerned with how we use governance, and a kind of marriage between governance and politics. Political affairs essentially involves making sure that all the activities of government are tailored towards the empowerment of people, towards ensuring that the electorate enjoy the dividend of democracy. And how do we ensure that? We do what we call intelligence monitoring, to know what are the wishes, what are the needs of the people. How are these needs being met? How is the government doing? What are the government? What is the government doing for the people? So essentially, we are like intermediary between the government and the people, and we want to ensure that there is no political violence, no political problems, that we reduce to the bare minimum violence, conflicts, and the rest within the political firmament. And essentially, we are representatives of government amongst the people, so we monitor what is going on, what the people are saying, how they feel about government, and maintain harmony among the different political stakeholders. By and large, we are not only for the People's Democratic Party, we are concerned with all political parties. We cooperate with them via a body we call Inter-Party Advisory Council, that is IPAC. This council is responsible for the coordination of all political parties not in government. Some people may call them opposition party, but we prefer to call them parties that are not in government, because that they are out of governance or government does not make them opposed to you. So we call them parties that in Yoruba we call them àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tí ò ní sí ní ìjọba. So that is one way, and we collaborate with all political parties. Even when they have issues, we intervene. When we are having programs, we involve them, we engage them, because our concern is that there must be peace, there must be harmony, there must be sufficient understanding between the people and the government. So, and the essence of government, as we all know, is that we must provide security, and we're concerned with the welfare of the people. So to do that, you need everybody, not only members of a political party. And the governor, when he came on board, he told us specifically that he's not governor of PDP people, he's governor of the people of OSUN State. So our mandate is to ensure that this political entente, understanding, harmony in the state. That's the political area, because we call it political affairs and intergovernmental relations. We have 3 areas of intervention. I've mentioned briefly the issue of political affairs. We have the area of intergovernmental relations, in which case we interfere, we relate with other ministries within and even with the outside the state. We ensure that we compare notes, what people call peer review, that we compare notes on what other governments are doing, and we learn from them, they also learn from us. So we have an established relationship with the ministries out of political affairs and governmental relations in other parts of the country, other states. And besides, we also try to enlighten them on how we have been achieving our own goals. That's the area of intergovernmental relations. Our ministry deals with the Ministry of Environment, we deal with Ministry of Commerce, we deal with Ministry of Youth, we deal with Ministry of Women Affairs, as to ensure that the dividends of democracy provided by the government gets to everybody in the state, at least a large percentage of the electorate, so that they can feel it. So that is part of our intergovernmental relations when we relate with other ministries, we relate with other agencies within and outside the state, even with the federal government, even with the local government. We interact with them and we make sure that we compare notes on areas of possible relationship. The third aspect, the other department that we have in the ministry is called policy coordination. We have a special advisor in charge of policy coordination. That aspect deals essentially with ensuring that officials of government, including political office holders, understand the policies of government as regards provision of welfare, opportunities, dividends of democracy, understand how government officials operate normally under what you call best practices. So the policy coordination area trains civil servants, technocrats generally, or they also guide political office holders on how to ensure that policies of government are well articulated and processed by people who are in charge in different ministries, not only our ministry. So when you look at these 3 areas, political affairs, intergovernmental relations, and then policy coordination, you know, the 3 of them brought together emphasizes what is called due process, best practices, harmony, understanding, peaceful coexistence, and the reach of government to the grassroots. So we coordinate all this to ensure that government is for the interests of the common people. That's what at times government will do one thing that the people don't like, that they don't need. But we ensure that we do it, we call need-based assessment. What do they really need? Is it water they need here? We'll tell government. Is it electricity they need here? We tell government, rather than allowing them to go and provide a health center where there are teaching hospitals and state hospitals and enough health centers. So maybe in that area they need good road. We interface with them and then advise government that these people need water, these people need electricity, these people need good roads, these people need markets, so on and so forth. So essentially we are like intermediary between the electorate and government. Essentially the government is concerned with dealing with people irrespective of their partisan interests. And that is one major focus. That if you see politics as protecting the interests of party members, then essentially you are being narrow-minded. But the reform that the government is bringing into governance is that government is not about a particular political party, but about the people of the state. And to ensure that one, the inter-party advisory council that I told you, that is a council of all political parties that are not in government. In fact, our own party is supposed to be part of the inter-party advisory council. We interface with them. We have robust engagement with them. We participate in their activities and we get them involved in our own activities. So number one is that we have a different orientation. We give a different orientation to people about how politics should be played. Not politics of one way or narrow-minded politics, but politics that is broad-minded. I mean, it's broad. Politics that encourages everybody to be involved. Number two, the governor himself encourages all facets of the society, the artisans, the traders, including politicians, the workers, and all facets of society to be part of government by inviting them, engaging them, and of course providing for them. Take for instance, you know that normally commerce is at the center of our survival. So governor decides to look at the cooperative societies and say, okay, these people need support for marketers, for market women and men to have good business activities. They need to be supported. So, and politics is about the people, like I told you. So the governor decided to set aside some money to give to these marketers, to the market women, and then to encourage good situation, environment in the market. And essentially, the policy of encouraging the youth, women, and other critical stakeholders in politics, in the area of appointments, in the area of elections, in the area of campaigns, all these things are done in a way to involve all the segments of the society to ensure peace and harmony. And you find out that since the governor has been here, there is little or no skirmishes within the political arrangement, because immediate and, let me say, appropriate intervention in areas of conflict, but within politics and outside the political environment. So it is to ensure peace and harmony in the society so that people can enjoy the dividends of democracy. We have started our sensitization program. We're going to different local governments to sensitize and enlighten the people on the need to allow peace, on the need to encourage politicians not to engage in violence, not to engage in election rigging, and so on and so forth. Then I should also let you know that even during the Edo election, before and during the election, we were there to enlighten people on to discourage rigging, violence, and all sharp practices involved in electioneering. We were part of the campaign. We intervened, we advised, and we related with all the parties on how to ensure a free and fair election. The same thing is happening now. We are encouraging everybody in Osun State to see the coming local government election not as a battlefield, but to make sure not everything is peaceful. That parties should sell their programs, not sell their strength or physical strength, not to encourage violence, not to encourage hooliganism, thuggery, and of course, rigging. We enlighten them through our programs, and we are currently undergoing federal constituency tour of the entire state, where we talk to politicians, we talk to monarchs, we talk to transport workers, we talk to market people, that Osun is for everybody. And that federal constituency program is going on. And like I told you about sensitization, we let them have an awareness that this coming local government election is going to be first of its kind in Osun, because the state is going to give everybody fair opportunity, to vote, not to be harassed, not to be discouraged, and to ensure that the election will be free and fair. So, well, by and large, that is essentially our plans. And we also work hand in hand with OSEC and including INEC. Because as we are preparing for this, we know that by 2026 we'll be going into the state gubernatorial elections. We are also preparing hard to ensure that this state must be known for peace and harmony. No violence, no thuggery, no destruction of lives and property. So the mandate of our ministry is to make sure that we show class. We set the pace for others to follow in the area of maintaining clean and fair politicking.
The Ministry of Political Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations has run a successful show which has impacted on the capacity of government to maintain a credible balance between policy and politicking. The success has prevented schisms that usually mar government business, especially when brickbat ensue within the leadership of political parties. The debt management of politics within the ruling party and extension of olive branch to the opposition remain examples worthy of emulation. As Governor Ademola Adeleke inches towards ending its first 2 years in office and climbing the ladder for a second term, the people of Osun State cannot but wish for continuation of a government committed to peaceful coexistence and life more abundant for them. And that draws the curtain on Living Spring update for this week, episode 14. I am Tomilola Daniel. See you next week.
Spring Update is a production of the Office of the Spokesperson to the Governor, Governor's Office, Osogbo.
Ni